Hello, I'm Janie from Messages. Ooh, let me see if I can fix this. Messages from Heaven by Janie on YouTube. Um, I got these fun hats from let's see, from Timu. I bought a bunch of them. Ooh, this is falling down. Let me see if I can get this a little better. Here we go. Let's see. Hey, I got it. Now, I don't know. I want my voice to be loud enough so you can hear it. What? Okay, so I got this hat. I feel like a lady coming from a funeral in 1949. I'll move it back. I, I'll get tired of it and I'll move it back in a couple of minutes. Um, my grandmother, especially, had these wonderful little hats. And then, of course, when Jackie Kennedy was the wife of the president, um, she had those hats that sat in the back of your head that were so popular. Okay, so um, I wanted to talk about something that is serious. Not that Putin, God, I mean, the politics today is very, very serious. But this is something that's personal, and I hope that I can be helpful. Um, if you are going through or have gone through a situation with a friend of a friend who is obnoxious and critical and says things to you that are really wrong, but you have been quiet because it's the friend of your friend and you don't want to start a situation, you really enjoy being with your friend and going there when she has something, and you don't want to lose that. Or you have a relative like that. She would come over and start screaming and saying crazy things. Then she wrote to my daughter-in-law twice. The second time my son grabbed it, and um, it didn't matter. The thing was, he told her that it was ridiculous. My mom would never do that, and it was ridiculous. Um, but she annoyed them, and ultimately it came back to me, and they certainly didn't want to hear. And if you have a lick, here she is. She's right here. I probably shouldn't do this, but here she is. Can you see her? Say hi, Tuesday. Can you see? I don't know if you can see her or not, but she's over here. She is waiting for her snack. Um, it's a big deal. um, Cats and the dog wait for their. They really love their snacks. It's food. They love food. Anyway, what I wanted to say was for for my sanity. Well, I eventually one of my doctors said told me how crazy the situation was that I was going through, and she recommended somebody to talk to. Uh, I didn't really want to, but I did. I went and I talked to her. I didn't have the kind of relationship that I knew that you should have, which is one where you can tell that person anything and that person will listen. The person to whom you are speaking, whether it be a clergyman or a friend or a therapist or goodness knows, I can't even think of what. Um, it's not that you want to hear, you don't need to hear, well, do this and do that, because the truth is, it's really coming from inside you. What that person is doing is aggravating something that is similar in you, that maybe you would do it. It might be a lot more than you would ever do. I would, first off, I don't make up stories, thank God. And I don't bully people. I was, I really was lucky in school and um, didn't get, God, bullied. Um, and I hope I didn't bully. Okay, anyway, um, My girlfriend Susan, who has since passed away, used to talk to her minister. Um, the person with whom you're speaking has to be one who doesn't mind you coming back week after week and not wanting to hear how to fix it. Um, Susan managed. This is Susan. Can you see Susan? I hope you can. That's Susan with two of her dogs. She was a wonderful dog trainer, and I loved her. She was a great friend. That was her way of coping with situations that couldn't really be handled. I went and I talked to this lady who was an MSW. That's a social worker. I worked as a social worker. My master's is in doors knocking on the door, um, therapeutic recreation. Um, and it's similar. I worked in a psychiatric hospital. Doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with anything. Um, they're trained. I certainly was trained. I had experience, but nobody wanted to hear me keep one complaining about these people. Same story. So, and then this woman who was a nice lady wasn't the right person. I never said to her anything negative, but anyway, I stopped going to her and I went back to my doctor who had recommended her for my next appointment. We have, well, we all go to doctors when we're old. I have to tell you, Medicare does cover therapy. Um, it just does. Uh, and if you're thinking about it, it's great. I mean, it's covered. There's Tuesday. I don't know. Tuesday, what is it? Oh, okay. Well, whatever. We know if anyone is walking past, she owns the street. She owns the whole neighborhood. Each dog owns the whole neighborhood. So she recommended another person who was wonderful. And the thing isn't so much that she's wonderful because maybe someone wouldn't feel that way. Another person would not, but I do. I did. And she helped me to look at myself and to see what was really going on, and now it's bothering me, and to deal with it differently. Um, it isn't that it isn't that I got over it because I don't know that you get. Will you stop that? Stop. Sit down. Just sit. You're Chub. Everybody in this house is a Chub, and so she's fits in the right house anyway. Um, my point. Um, she doesn't always eat beef. This is early for her. Okay. Um, I saw the situation differently, and it's not getting over it because it was a traumatizing situation. And if you went through something that was traumatizing, it doesn't get rid of it. Um, those things don't just disappear. You see a therapist and like, oh, there it goes. No, it isn't like that. But somehow it gets put in. It's not something you have to talk about every minute of every day. Your view changes, the way that you feel changes. I don't have to answer. This person isn't here anymore. But if she were, I would not have to answer her. If she started screaming, I could go in the house. Um, Even if the police came, for goodness knows what. My dog, I don't let my dog doesn't go out and do her business on anyone else's lawn. But where we live, you're not really allowed to have dog poop in your backyard. And believe me, there are always things people can call the police about if they want to. So that's my story. I'm trying to tell you that you're doing yourself a favor. If you are upset about something, do yourself a favor. If there's something that you feel like you need to talk about over and over and over, and you're just not, somehow it's not getting out of here, and you want, you want something, you want it to change, you can give yourself a gift, especially because it isn't going to cost you anything. um, see somebody, talk to somebody, let them help you, let them work with you to bring it out and see what's behind it and get better. And believe me, getting through stuff like that helps in other situations too. And you see things much more clearly than you did before. It's it has a broader effect that feels really good. So that's it. If you want to get a reading, um, I do terrific readings and they're not expensive. You can write to me at spiritsbyjanie@gmail.com. On here, Messages from Heaven by Janie on YouTube. It's politics, visions, um, I want to say prognostications. And that's coming from my spirit guides who sometimes play, well, they're sometimes kind of funny. This morning, I asked them, who's going to win the election? Nothing. Okay. Is Biden going to win the election? Yes. Is Trump going to win the election? Yes. No, they can't both win the election. Then I saw Trump at an old street light, hanging on the street light like an old drunk, in the 40s. They used to show a guy hanging on the street light in the old movies, singing How Dry I Am, and that was Trump. What does that mean? Let me know. I'm not quite sure. So have a lovely evening. Have a lovely weekend. I'm planning to go see my little girls tomorrow and my big girl on Monday. They're wonderful. Thank you so much. Oh, and push the buttons. Push the buttons, push the buttons, push the buttons. Take care. Bye bye.